Okay, what the hell is happening in this series? The Nuggets look like they might be the best team in the NBA and go easily back to back this year, but the Timberwolves are absolutely punking them right now. We'll start with game one and work our way back to what happened last night. Let's talk about some themes here for the Timberwolves. Cat is once again in foul trouble. He has to figure that out. But when he was in the game, 8 for 13, super efficient with 20 points. And Ant, of course, playing like a top three, top two player in the playoffs right now. 17 for 29 shooting and 43 points with 7 boards and playing great defense. It's just phenomenal. And then Nas Reed, of course, 7 for 11, 2 for 4 from 3 with 16 points, playing like that sixth man of the year. He's going to be a huge factor if the Timberwolves want to win the title this year. And in game one, it was Jokic and MPJ versus the world. Christian Brown was good off the bench in his few minutes. But Jamal Murray, who we'll get into later, was just not good. 6 for 14 shooting with 17 points. The reason that the Nuggets skated to the championship last year is not only because Jokic is the best player in the world, but Jamal Murray was playing like the clutchest player in the playoffs. And we saw last series, he had 2 game winners. That brings us into game two, which is why it's so baffling that Jamal Murray was 3 for 18 and had 8 points in this game. He did what he could on the glass to make up for it, but it just wasn't enough. I'm sure everybody's seen the clips that have come out. Minnesota has just been absolutely overwhelming him. And you could say he hasn't gotten a great whistle, but this is a physical series and you have to come prepared for it. Jokic was pretty good, but he wasn't great. 5 for 13 shooting and 16 points isn't great, even when you have 16 boards and 8 assists. And they wasted the Aaron Gordon game. You got 20 from him on 8 for 14 shooting, and you weren't even in this game. But it's going to be really tough for the Nuggets to win when Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. do not shoot it well. 7 for 30 between the two of them is just unacceptable. And when you look over at the Timberwolves in game two, it's the same exact thing. Cat played way more this game, didn't foul as much, goes 10 for 15 shooting, 27 points, super efficient. And Ant doesn't score as much as he did in game one, but still super efficient, 11 for 17 with 27 points. And once again, Nas Reed, although he was not efficient in this game, still gets you 14. You get 14 from Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who was great in that Sun series. And this is the way that the Nuggets were rolling in the playoffs last year. Their stars played well, they stayed efficient, and they had at least a couple guys off the bench that were going to go get you double-digit points. Do I think the Nuggets can come back in this series? Absolutely. But two things have to change. You have to find a way to force Anthony Edwards and Cat to not be as efficient as they've been. Whether that's limiting their shots or making their shots harder, you have to do something to make sure they're not getting as many easy looks as they're getting. And I didn't even mention, they didn't even have Gobert in this game, and they still held the Nuggets to 80 points. And for the Nuggets, it's very simple. One, Jokic has to score more. We already know that. And Jamal Murray has to be significantly more efficient. If Murray cannot adapt to the physicality of this series, it's more than over. And as far as the role players go, Aaron Gordon and MPJ, one of them has to have a good game every single game. So far, they have in this series, but the inefficiency of Jamal Murray and Jokic has really led to them having no chance so far. Game 3 is a must win for the Nuggets, and we'll see how they adjust.